一遭，蝙蝠俠和超人一起現身大熒幕，不過一開始兩個可是互看不順眼。蝙蝠俠對超人正義曙光，延續2013年超人鋼鐵英雄的故事。兩位英雄針鋒相對，不打不相識，還加入神力女超人攪局。DC 漫畫三巨頭首度合體，粉絲影迷都超期待。
I'm getting slow in my old age, Alfred.
Even you got too old to die young, not for lack of trying.
43歲的班艾弗列克是歷任蝙蝠俠中年紀最長、身高最高的一位，只是前人立下的超高標準，讓小班接演後備受粉絲質疑，也更激發他做足功課的決心。
We all know that what advice that Christian Bale gave you, but we want to know what exactly George Clooney told you.
George Clooney is not one to give advice freely. He's very cheap with the advice. No, George, I didn't really talk to George in specific about doing this movie, although, you know, he was, I took the job when we were working together on Argo right after that. You know, George didn't have a great experience playing Batman, so he wasn't one to be particularly high on it, but he wished me well. So that was that. But he's a very funny guy, and so you know he makes a lot of jokes.
他更練出超過9公斤肌肉，達到8%的體脂肪，就為了和超人 PK。
And in one scene we saw you fight with Superman like hell in a big armor. How heavy was the armor?
The whole thing was about close to 100 pounds with the suit and the armor and the cape in the rain. So it was very bulky and cumbersome and difficult to. I could hardly even stand up, never mind fight anybody. It was
It's like lifting weights and fight at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Lifting weights and fighting at the same time, yes. Superman really, in real life, would have won.
蝙蝠俠絕對少不了各式道具，超酷超炫的蝙蝠車，全新設計的蝙蝠洞，哪個男生不嚮往？只是這些太大，小班帶不回家。
We know you stole one Batarang. Anything else?
Yes, I stole a Batarang. I got a suit, but I didn't steal it. They gave it to me. So I have the bat suit. And I didn't steal anything else, believe me.
No. And so you wear the suit to your son's birthday party. Mm-hmm. And what was your first line when you showed up?
I don't remember exactly what I said, but I kind of just, you know, like pantomimed the scary Batman, and like some of the kids got scared, you know, like, and so I had to then be like, no, I'm nice Batman, I'm friendly Batman. I had to break character and try to be like a goofy Batman. But it was a lot of fun. It's fun to put on that outfit and see how kids respond, because, you know, to them it's all very real. You know, they don't have that sort of half the idea in their mind that it's, you know, make-believe and fantasy. It's very powerful in that way.
Is your son excited about his dad's Batman?
He's very excited, yeah. It's a lot of fun too. That's been a big part of what's fun for me, is that you know, being in a movie that my son is so excited about. It's the greatest feeling in the world.
How about the girls? Are they fans of Superman or Batman?
Not as much. You know, they think it's kind of like a little bit silly, you know, that the Batman Superman thing. They're more they like more, I guess you would say, typically girl things. Although I don't see there's any reason why girls wouldn't like Batman and Superman. But my girls just tend to, like my son said, can you believe it? They don't like superheroes. You just can't understand why, but they think that it's a little silly.
還記得3年前第一次穿上超人裝的亨利·卡維爾，這回細看超人裝會發現不同細節，而他也一度練到100公斤，肌肉比第一集來個雙倍，嚇死人。
Last time you told me it took you 15 minutes to take on and off the suit.
It takes about 15 minutes to go on and off, and you can't really wear anything underneath it now.
Yes.
And easier this time?
Was it easier this time? We definitely got better at it as a team of people, which is required to put the suit and take it off, put it on and take it off. We definitely got better and learned some tricks. So it wasn't quite 15 minutes. I mean, I think maybe our best time was I'm going to go with
timing.
7 minutes. But 7 minutes, when you're doing it that quickly, there's a risk of damaging the suit. So you've got to be very careful. You don't do that all the time. It's only when it was an absolute, got to hurry, hurry, hurry because we're running out of time. That's the only time we've ever done it that rushed. But I would say 7 minutes, 7 to 10 minutes, maybe 15 if we're being a bit more casual about it.
Was it comfortable after all day shooting and sweating and raining?
I don't know if it would be deemed comfortable for just, oh, excuse me, just grab this. I don't know if it'd be deemed comfortable for anyone who put it on for the first time, but I would say that you get used to it, and towards the end of a day, you're not thinking, oh, I've been sweating all day and this feels uncomfortable. It just becomes norm because I was working for 6 months wearing that suit, and at the end of 6 months, it's just regular.
And the perfect landing of Superman is always very handsome, but did you have any outtakes?
The funny thing about landing is that I'm already on the ground in real life. Thank goodness. Because if I were to be flying and landing, then... No, well, we did a lot of CGI on this as opposed to wires. Because I think it was a time-saving thing, and CGI now is so advanced that we can sell it, and it looks real and genuine. And so any of my landings, I'm trying to think if there was anything in particular. I remember stepping off a box while I had a girl in my arms, but she was very, very light, thank goodness. And so I didn't trip or anything, or trip on my cape. Unless I'm forgetting things, I don't remember any particular moment where I had myself stumbling and being wrapped up in my cape. Thank goodness.
Were there always fans around you to have the cape blow to the right way?
Sometimes yes and sometimes no, depending. I think a good dramatic cape billowing moment is essential in every superhero movie, and I got my fair share of them.
Although you say you don't need to keep the Superman figure all the time, but you do have to keep working out and be buff all the time. And what food do you miss most?
What do I miss most when I'm working very hard and trying to stay particularly lean? I couldn't call on one thing. I couldn't say one thing or the other because I love all foods. And if I were to say just one food, I'd feel like I'd be betraying my other loves.
All this time, I've been thinking I'm here to do good. Superman was never real.
This means something.
After Superman, was it easier for you with girls or not?
哎呦，真的不是只有我们这样觉得啦！不信你问他们。
It took my breath away. I couldn't look him in the eyes. Maybe I would just touch his muscles, yeah.
That is a good question. I don't know necessarily
I think it's easier.
if it was, you tell me.
Easier.
Okay, there we go.
Well, here I am.
Do you remember the first time you met with Henry? What did you guys talk about?
Geez, I don't remember exactly the first time we met, but Henry's a great guy, and he's very nice, and he's a tough guy to hate, so, there was no method acting. He was just a good partner, and he's a good man, and good actor, and he brings a lot of humanity to Superman and made it real. It's a very difficult part to play. It's the hardest part by far, because it could be boring, it could be obvious, and he really made Superman seem human.
What would we talk about? All sorts, really, and anything. We would sometimes talk about the scene we just done, and other times talk about sports or friends or travel or what the accommodation was like there, all sorts of things. There was no one particular topic we stuck to. I mean, it's 6 months, so we can't talk about the same thing the entire time.
The bat is dead. Bury it.
Which scene is the most difficult and challenging one for you, physically and emotionally?
Yeah, I think the most challenging scene is the actual big fight between Batman and Superman. It's like, because it is all those things. It's emotional, it's physical, it's environmental because of the rain and the weather and the conditions and the big IMAX cameras that we shot with. So it has all the it's just like it makes filmmaking every bit of it harder than it naturally is. So it's fun though.
Cut. Very good.
這次的導演查克·史奈德也是《超人鋼鐵英雄300壯士》的導演，他最擅長的就是影像風格強烈、宛如漫畫再現的作品，這次也不例外。
Last time when I interviewed with you for the Man of Steel, said the film is more realistic. But after the script we saw yesterday, I think it's painting or drawing style back. Is that true for the film?
I think it's sort of a hybrid. I think it moves between the two worlds. I feel like the thing with Man of Steel is like, you know, convincing the audience that a man can fly there's this sort of level of, you know, sort of the right stuff or realism that you need to bring to it or to total fantasy. But once you have a character like Batman that's grounded anyway, it allows sort of the style. I feel like you push the style back in, so it has a little bit more big cinema feel.
And we know the DVD got R-rated. And what was the difference between the DVD version and the?
Yeah, I think that the DVD has just more scenes in it, like some scenes that we deleted scenes that we put back into the narrative, and you know it's because you're not because we know when we make the DVD, we realize, of course, that we're not trying to achieve a rating necessarily. You know, you just once you sort of have the rating that the theatrical rating, you don't need to please the censors or whatever anymore. And so we just put whatever we want in the movie, not whatever we want, but just the scenes that were taken out. And I think that you know, it's a fine line between PG-13 and R, so it just barely pushed us that way.
You say that the best way for you to relax.
Unfortunately, the way I relax is by working on another movie.
And we know you are shooting the Justice League next month.
Yeah.
What can we expect?
Justice League is shaping up to be a really fun and intense and giant movie. The scale is just, you can imagine, 2 heroes is a pretty big movie, but when you have 6 or 7, you know, it starts to get very, really crazy. So, you know, just it's fun to start to see the rest of the DC universe kind of coming together into this, you know, culminating in the Justice League. So that's fun. Sun Lee. Hi, Sun Lee, Taiwan. I just want to recommend Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. Go check it out.
Hello, Zanli, Taiwan. I want to recommend Batman vs. Superman to everyone there. I think you'd really like the movie. Go see it.
Hello everyone, I would like to strongly recommend Batman v Superman. It is an incredible spectacle and you will enjoy it enormously. Thank you.